Hey, it's the local spotlight show here at WJBM Studios in Jerseyville, Illinois, the voice of the Tri-Counties. I am Chris Lorton, and with me today, I have my good friend, John Goetten. Welcome. Here's Johnny.
Yeah, that's right. Man, it's great to be here. It's great to be back. We had a blast the last time. I
know. I know. You didn't elaborate as much on your being quarterback. That was a short stint.
That was real short. Absolutely.
You got 3 quarters in, or three downs?
Maybe.
Oh, shoot, that was funny. So, how's things going at the bowling alley?
Good, real good. Busy time of year for us, you know. Yeah, but things are going really good. Closing in on getting the outside patio all wrapped up.
Yeah.
Should be soon. We're waiting on some product and stuff like that. So, or material, I should say.
How about those bowling birthday parties that you've been having?
Crazy.
Yeah.
Good fun though.
Yeah.
Been doing good. So, but we're here on a different matter now too.
Yeah, that's right.
Gonna do some politicking today, hopefully.
Yeah, you're running for treasurer, Jersey County treasurer.
Jersey County treasurer, that's right.
Yeah.
Yep. It's been very interesting so far, you know. I'm outside of my box, but not outside of my box.
You grew up in this box.
Yeah, absolutely.
I mean, you think about your uncle Tuffy.
Yes,
wasn't he treasurer
Roger.
for like? Roger
Tuffy. Yeah, Tuffy.
What's your nickname? All the Goettens got nicknames.
I'm the only I'm the only Norby Goetten boy, I think, with a I grew up a little bit different than my brothers did, you know.
Yeah.
I kind of grew up in Westwoods. I'm going to share I got some photos recently given to me of me as a little guy out in Westwoods but yeah, Fielding. I grew up there in Fielding and grew up a little bit different whenever I was younger. But my nickname, my Goetten name is Louie. I think, Round Man Hanson's the only one that
recalls that.
Round Man Hanson. I don't know where, but that's where that came from.
Round Man Hanson.
How? Yeah. He's out in Vegas now, so. I don't see him often.
He lives out there?
Yeah, moved out there quite a few years ago. Been out there for a while. Yeah. But yeah, my Goetten name, Louie.
Louie.
I don't know where it came from, but
yeah,
it is what it is. That's it.
But, now your dad, Norby.
Yeah.
I mean, he wasn't he state's attorney at Greene County for
Norby. That's
a bunch of years.
That's how we got out of Jersey County. Norby went to law school, and I grew up in Carrollton in the '80s, and the reason was, politics took us there.
Right? Yeah.
A lot of stuff's changed from then, but Norb, there was an opening for state's attorney there in Greene, and how times have changed. Back then, attorneys couldn't. I don't know if young people can ever imagine this, but back then attorneys, they couldn't advertise. There was no advertising.
Oh yeah, I remember that.
That'd shock you now because that's all they do. It's attorney commercials and insurance commercials. So that's all we see. But no, he ran for Greene County state's attorney. And I think his initial reason probably for doing that is it was an easy or not an easy. There's nothing easy about running a campaign or running for public office. That's for sure.
No.
But that is he did it basically to get his name out there to let people know he was an attorney and to get business basically. And then shockingly enough, he won. So, yeah. So we ended up. That's how my immediate family ended up in Greene County.
And Ben's been a state's attorney here in Jersey for 12 years, I think.
I think so. Yeah, and he's had a he's had a really good career here in Jersey County. You know, my
Does he come to you a lot, like with questions?
Yeah,
or what to do? Giving
absolutely,
advice?
Get all the good advice from me.
Well, he is your younger brother.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, but no, yeah, grew up around politics, you know, which is probably the reason I've stayed out of politics my whole adult life. You know, I really had after growing up in it and around it, you know, I chose a different path.
That's what I did with construction.
Exactly.
I told my dad,
yeah,
I'm not
never
going to
do
construction.
it. And then next thing you know, here we are, years later. Yeah. It was like,
you got to watch what you say.
Heck, did I get here? You know, but no, yeah, the everything's good. The campaign is rolling along, and kind of where I need to be with it and things like that. You know, getting ready to launch my social media stuff is getting ready to launch, and we're going to make a push, and a lot different campaigning these days than it was whenever I was a kid. You know what I mean? Definitely.
Kid, what'd you do? Go door to door?
Yeah, and you know, without you know, of course, this weather's really not conducive to be going door to door.
No.
Yeah, nor I do know that they're probably normal politicians. Maybe they still do that, but I find it a little hard to be walking up on anybody's porch in Jersey County sometimes. But no, yeah, back when I was a kid, yeah, doing the same thing, other than you know, the social media stuff is kind of
now
a lot different.
Why do you want to get into politics? Why do you want to run for treasurer? I know you ran the last time as an independent.
I'm just not a politician. I'm just not a. I'm not a politician. I don't want to get into politics, I guess. But, you know, I know what my politics are. You know, I'm very comfortable with my politics. But, you know, as a businessman for the last 30 years, you know, I spent the last 30 years keeping my politics to myself, you know, and I still kind of keep, you know, when it comes to politics, I usually stay quiet. But it's an interesting, I guess, question why I'm getting it. Really, I want the job. You know, I think it's more. I'm more interviewing for a job, for instance, as opposed to actually running for an office, I guess. I feel like I'm very proud to be running on the Republican ticket. You know, I'm in the lane that I need to be in as far as politically. So I guess I am into politics, but I'm just not a politician. I look at myself more I look at politics in a different light than most.
You know, you think about local politics.
Yeah.
You know, I mean, sometimes I don't know why we got to run as Democrats and Republicans. We should just run, you know, because, you know.
I get that. And politics to me, it's family, it's community, and I grew up in a different way of politicking, you know. Yeah. I remember as a kid, you know, Dad leave the office at the courthouse, and he would walk across the street to the brass door, you know, and that's where the politicians would hang out, you know, after work. And, you know, Democrats, Republicans alike, sitting there, and, you know, they agree to disagree. And that's how I grew up with politics. You know, there wasn't dissension, and, you know, and I don't see that. You know, when I look at politics in Jersey County, like I said, it's family, you know. I think, one of the, I say my campaign's going really good, but it's not without its challenges. How I grew up, and people have a hard time, with my last name. I think they have a hard time disassociating kind of with the Goetten name and the Democrat Party. So one of the criticisms I hear a lot is, Jonny, he's a Democrat running as a Republican for votes, and
Ben ran as an independent.
Yeah,
I mean he's
now Brother Ben he was a Democrat for years, and kind of his profession and what he does, and it shapes his politics, and he ended up leaving the Democrat Party. I'm totally different. I have no party affiliation. I've never had any party affiliation.
You're running for the job.
Yeah, and I'm running for the job, but don't get me wrong. I'm proud to be running on the Republican ticket. People see the Goetten name, and they associate it. The people that would say that I had switched politics, well, it's completely untrue. But people that are saying those things don't necessarily know me personally, and obviously never been to a Goetten family Christmas. So there are my family roots in this county run deep, very deep, and when I look at politics, that's what I think of. I think and anybody that has kind of questioned my politics, and there's an old saying that you put your money where your mouth is type thing. I've never been a put your money where your mouth is. I put my money where my heart and my mind is, my brain.
Okay.
And I think if you were to follow that money and put some sort of label on me after you followed that money, the word community would show up. It period. I don't want to be defined by my top politics. I just don't. Life's bigger than that. I was raised in a Democrat household, obviously, and that's no secret. But I was always, I'm a Catholic kid. I'm born and raised Catholic.
Sure.
What trumps that, no pun intended, is love thy neighbor.
Right.
This is and that's what you see in this community. I don't think people. I for one am not one of those people that I'm not a party first type guy. There's a lot of other things that are go in front of that party affiliation.
Hey, if you're just joining us, I have Jonny Goetten with us today. He's running for Jersey County Treasurer. I think the ballots, the write-ins, or
the actual early voting. Yeah,
starts today.
Go uptown and show them your driver's license and in and out, easy peasy. Yeah, early voting, in-person voting started today at 8 a.m. And I'm a big fan of in-person early voting.
You are?
Oh yeah, you're in and out of there. The office up there, they got that down. You don't want to wait to vote. Go
the day of.
Yeah, go early vote. I'm a big fan of the early. Matter of fact, I know where my polling place is. Never been inside or never been in there to vote. No, I early vote. I'm a big
I've done
fan.
that the last few times.
It's easy. It's convenient. Yeah, they got it down to a science up there. Yeah. So if you're an early voter, you can get up there right now. Yep. Get up there and vote. And
Hey, I got a question to ask you. Maybe the listeners want to know this. Like, for example, the bowling alley is a pretty good operation. I mean, you spend a lot of time there.
Yeah.
So is anything going to happen differently for you?
Yeah, drastically. Yeah. No, and the outcome of the election really does not. I'm kind of transitioning anyway, and to be.
You're tired of working 100 hours a week?
Yeah. It's not an easy thing, but regardless of the outcome, win or lose, my capacity at the bowling alley and my employment with Southtown Group, which owns it, is going to change. My hope is to, wake up on March 18th and me come out on top on this election. And my game plan specifically with a win is the bowling alley is open. It opens at 11 a.m. 7 days a week, and open 11 plus hours a day. I get to work at couple days, Mondays and Thursdays, I'm at work by 6 a.m. and the rest Saturday and Sunday I try not to get there till 8 a.m. but not always the case. But typically I'm there 5 days a week before 7 a.m. Those things that probably won't change with a treasure victory. My game plan at this point is with a win, the treasurer's job is definitely going to be my full-time position and have 100% of my time. I'm trying to, my exit strategy at the bowling alley is kind of already in place, and I don't think that I will completely exit there. But basically the day-to-day management, I guess, is where I'm kind of getting away from. And, but I would be there to manage the business of the business every morning, a couple hours every morning, and go in, and before I would hit the treasurer's office, is kind of my game plan.
Why are you a good fit for the treasurer's office? Why do you think you're a good one? Other than being, I guess.
To me, the job is more than a numbers and X's and O's, and you go in and it takes a certain type of person, I think, to do the job. And I think I've got the I think I have over the last 30 years of being in, it takes a certain kind of person to be in charge, I think. And, the job's more than X's and O's, and it has a lot to do with being able to be around people. I guess it's a people job.
It is a people job.
And it's a people job, and it's
a lot of different people.
Yes, exactly. And over the last 30 years, I've hired, employed, and worked with hundreds and hundreds of people, and had thousands and thousands and thousands of interactions with customers. And I think that gives me an advantage over anybody else that would be doing it, or to go into the treasurer's office. I think it gives me an advantage over my opponent in the race. I think my experiences, I guess, over the last 30 years owning being a small business owner, I think that gives me a lot of the upper hand in going in there and being able to execute this position and execute it the way that Jersey County voters needed to be managed. It's a job that's more than X's and O's. And I think I'm a real good fit for the position.
You've definitely been around a lot of people.
Yeah.
You're a people guy.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Absolutely. Yeah.
And I guess the election starts today.
Yeah.
And it ends, what, the 17th, 16th?
It's the 17th. Yeah. St. Patrick's Day. Yeah. So
will there be a big turnout for this election, you think?
Man, I hope so. That's one thing I always kind of push. People need to get out and vote, Yeah. I mean, I'd really like to see a good turnout. Historically, I think, these midterm elections, it's hard to get people out, and especially in the primary, it's hard to get voters out, get them motivated.
But how easy can it be when you can just walk in at any time?
Yeah, Pam Warford's got it all set up, made it easy on everybody. Yeah, it's just that easy. Go up, show them your driver's license, ask for a Republican ballot, and vote Goetten for treasurer. That's pretty easy. I like.
That's the formula.
That's the formula. But yeah, getting voter participation, it's tough. I'm doing what I can to get my supporters out early. I want to get my base needs to. We're all going to be voting early. In person voting. I'm a big fan. It takes minutes.
Well, any last words of wisdom or your pitch? We're going to wrap this interview up.
No pitch. I'm just happy to be here. Yeah, it was fun to talk to you again. But no, nope. I want everybody to get out to the polls, and I appreciate every single vote I can get, and appreciate everybody's support. Getting a lot of good feedback, and appreciate everybody. Appreciate all the support.
Well, thanks for coming in, Jonny. You have a great day. And right. I know you're probably on your way to the polls right now to do your early voting.
Absolutely, buddy. Absolutely.
Thank you,
Chris.